Now, the story for Assassin's Creed Revelations. The story here takes place right after Brotherhood ended, and you play as Desmond yet again, except this time he is stuck in the Animus. Like in the other ones where he can go into Animus whenever he wants and relive his assassin ancestors' lives. This one he's stuck right from the beginning in the Animus and he can't get out, and he has to figure out a way to get out, and of course relive some of the moments of his ancestors' lives, Altair and Ezio. Ezio from the second and the last game, and Altair from the first game. In this one, of course, Ezio starts off, he's pretty much the main character, let's just say that. Ezio is trying to look for these 5 keys that will unlock this door that Altair left him, pretty much. Well, left someone to find it, and he has to go find these 5 keys that are like circular keys, relive some of the moments in Altair's lives with each key, and use these keys to open this door to Altair's library. So he has to pretty much go open this door, find out a lot about the Creed, you know, his, of course, the Assassin's Creed, learn some of the history and stuff, and that's really the story. The story in this game is not as good as Brotherhood, or Assassin's Creed 2, or even Assassin's Creed 1, which I thought was a great story. Here, it's still good. Don't get me wrong. Hell, I would even say it's great, but it's definitely not. It's not as good as the other ones. So here, it's great. Don't get me wrong, but it's not as good. So anyway, let's go on to the sound in this game. Let's talk about the voice acting first. The voice acting in this game, just like all the other Assassin's Creed games, is phenomenal in this game. You have so many different accents in this game that if you have to pick the right voice actors, and they do a phenomenal job picking the right voice actors so it doesn't sound stereotypical when someone's speaking with a Spanish accent or Italian accent, or that's really all the accents, but you know, whatever. Those are 2 right there, and everybody sounds great. It really does. The main guy, of course, Ezio. I forgot his name. I think it's Roger Craig Smith. He voices Ezio like he did in the last 2 games, and he's great in this game. The thing is, I think he should just stay with Ezio because from what I heard, he also voiced Sonic from Sonic Generations, and I thought he did a terrible job with that game. So stay with Ezio. You're doing a great job with Ezio. You're fantastic. You do a great accent for Ezio. Good job, but just stay with that. Also, of course, the soundtrack is really epic and memorable. The sound design is the same from last game, so it is great. So overall, the sound in this game is great. So let's go on to the now the graphics and Revelations. The graphics in this game, just like the other 2, are fantastic. They really are. I actually noticed that there's some differences between these graphics and the graphics from the other 2, which is surprising because I'm not completely sure, but I think it's using the same engine as the other 2. But you'll notice like some little animations are different. Definitely the clothing physics and the way the clothing looks on Ezio and all the other characters looks fantastic. The animations for running looks, you know, mostly the same, but there's some that are definitely different. It just looks like a better, more fleshed out game. So there you go. Graphics, I think, are definitely better looking. The animations for the characters, the facial expressions, the texturing is really great. The color work, all the color palette choices they use is amazing. The graphics in this game are great. Let's go on to the game. Now the gameplay for AC Revelations stays mostly the same from the other games, except with a few new features. You have the combat, which is still just as solid and smooth as it's ever been. It's easy and a lot of fun just to take out a multitude of enemies on screen in pretty much a blink of an eye. The climbing is still great but flawed in the way that sometimes when climbing up a side of a building or a tower, you'll jump off and kill yourself just by pressing the wrong button. Besides that, it still makes for some of the most intense parts of the game when you're chasing someone or you're trying to run away from something before it catches you. It's a lot of fun. It still is. The combat and the platforming is great. So is the stealth in the game, which is used a little bit less in this game, which I noticed, but still very good in the game. All 3 of those things, just like in the other games, you still have the ability to carry an excess amount of weapons to kill your enemies with, like throwing knives and poison darts, and of course swords. But some new features include crafting bombs, which help you kill enemies or distract enemies so you can pass by something, or even assassinate someone without anybody seeing you. I thought this new edition of bombs seemed very well thought out, but I only used them a few times throughout the whole game, and there was really no reason to use them sometimes. Another new addition is a hook blade, which lets you climb up a building faster, kill enemies in a new gruesome way, and use zip lines for faster travel, and it's actually a lot of fun. The last new addition to this game is a tower defense mode, which is something I never thought Assassin's Creed needed. It wasn't like I was playing Assassin's Creed 2 and said, you know what this game needs? Tower defense. Yeah. But it's still a lot of fun. It is actually a lot of fun, and it's well implemented into this game, and it just makes sense. It really does for it to be there. It's not stupid, it's not silly, it's obvious tower defense. And now, just like Brotherhood, in this game you can recruit assassins and train them to become badasses by sending them out on missions in different areas and letting them do what they gotta do. And you could call upon them whenever you like and to, I don't know, kill a guard or kill a bunch of guards at once. It's the same as the last one, but it's a lot of fun to do. You're also getting new and improved multiplayer mode, which is, just like Brotherhood, a lot of fun, but won't have much lasting appeal. Overall, this game is still great, but it's easily the weakest since the first game. The story isn't as captivating, and a lot of the new additions aren't really needed in the game. I mean, they're fun, don't get me wrong, but they're not really needed. With that said,